No sad eyes, no goodbyes, just good night now, my love sings Thanks.
Samba. You haven't lived till you heard a good trombone solo.
Christina and Jackson.
Gotcha.
Mr. Andrew Stone, ladies and gentlemen. All right.
Does he have any more CDs left?
Do you have any more CDs?
That is the fourth song on my CD, and on the CD it sounds way better because I'm playing it on grand piano. I have, I think, 8 copies left. I'm almost out. So, and I
They
have
printed like 4 million too,
Yeah.
so.
And how much are these CDs that you speak of?
8 songs, $8, and I do
$8?
take credit
Only
card.
$8?
I take credit card.
That's right. So if you were planning, I mean, I know what you're saying, but Joe, I was gonna go to Dollar Tree and buy 7 things. But I was like, to hell with Dollar Tree. You get more than one paycheck a year. You need Andrew Stone's CD right now in your life. In your life, ladies and gentlemen. Matter of fact, that's the name of the 9th song. It's actually a bonus track on his CD called In Your Life.
The hidden track.
The hidden bonus.
You gotta let it play like for like an hour
In your
and then you
life.
hear it.
And then you get a computer code that
Yeah.
allows you to download.
You get a code for a download of the remix, which is called In Your Whole Life.
Yeah, if you put the CD in your computer, that's the only way you can get it. If you play it in your CD player, you won't see it.
The whole thing, you won't know. You won't know.
And you'll get it live from Andrew. He will actually call you
Right.
And
and
there'll be
say,
a,
I'm sending you the code right now.
and then there'll be a link on that website to take you to where
it.
to get
And
the
he will
rest.
perform a personal music video for you.
Right, which you can only get when you download the instructions and you'll print out a Google map to where you'll go to the corner
But
of Red River
this
and
will
2nd
not
Street.
happen unless you buy a CD.
You're gonna see a little dude over
have to buy
there
a CD.
named Lil Tony. You're gonna tell him Bobo and Nut Nuck and them sent him. And
And then by clicking agree,
if he asks you for $5, tell him, don't be asking nobody for no money and you still owe Joe B $20. Cause I said, tell him when I see him, I'm gone. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for Andrew Stone. One more time, give it up for Andrew Stone. One more time.
yeah, if you click agree to the terms and conditions, you will pay for the video crew and Little Tony and all that stuff. They'll all get paid. So
Right. Tell him only 20. Goddamn. Not just playing. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up next, that was crazy how that happened. That was like
and see, by this point, people are like, what am I buying again?
That was like a thought tree. That was like a thought tree tangent of WTF. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for the next poet coming up to the stage. This woman is so very awesome. She has no clue she is next, and because she knows me very well, she probably has surmised that I'm talking about her right now at this very instant. Without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Miss Hot Tamale.
Okay, wait, isn't this kind of a...
Boom chaka like a 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 cha.
That was pretty good.
Thank you.
Okay.
That was me, by the way.
Okay, this song, sheesh. This is what I get for following 2 or 3 musicians. I was like, and this song is dedicated, damn. Okay, this poem actually originated for when I first started coming to Kick Butt, and Mr. Element 615 is the one that actually gave me my poet name.
Wasn't back in those days? Wasn't he over there like with a chemistry kit, like with elements and stuff? Yeah.
You're a sad little man, aren't you?
I was reaching.
Yes, that's why he's the sound engineer. But Element 615, in all his wisdom, I was wearing a Hot Tamale candy t-shirt. You know, I like the retro shirts. And he's like, hey, you're Hot Tamale. I was like, okay. That was my name from there on out. I think that was like 4 years ago or something like that. And this poem kind of like has my impression of Element 615 in it. And it's called Word Spiders. Hey, poet! Who, me? Are you a writer? I might have to disagree. Thoughts are hanging down like spiders on a web in my mind. When I have one, it crawls around, skittering on the neurons until I pick up pencil or pen, express it. Then the spider can sleep, wakened once more when my feet hit the floor. Hot tamale! Attention! She wants us to go, to walk, to fulfill our function. We as word spiders crawl over to the others. Let us fill their minds, sisters and brothers. Tickle their memories, dance on their brains, weave a web on the window pane of their souls. Make them dream, make them think, fantasize till their cheeks grow pink. She talks about that like she's shopping at the store. Talks about wanting more. Word spiders, onward! Once more to the breach. Let us finish our work and move to the beach. Sun our limbs till she needs us once more. 'Cause we are the word spiders, and that's what we're here for. That was my impression of Element 615 introducing me when I first got named. Check mark. Okay, so coming up next to the stage, the return. Wait, is he returning? Drew.
The return in a world.
Drew. Where is Drew? Yes, the return, the legend, the sequel that is Drew. The Revenge of Drew. No, just kidding. Give it up for Drew.
This is a request. Please stay alive.
Scott.
Woo!
Scott.
Drew and I have known each other through so many blown out venues. I don't know if you know about poetry, but poetry is sort of like chemical weapons. It's so powerful it can clear any space. You go in and say, I want to do a poetry reading, people say, where? Inside your coffee shop. They say, it makes no money, it makes no sense. Sure, welcome. We were invited to the Cafe Caffeine by a man who sat through poetry karaoke when there was a Ruta Maya. Does anyone remember Ruta Maya? Before your time, you do. But let me tell you, Ruta Maya began, original one, 4th and Lavaca, which is now Halcyon. We had a gig next door at a restaurant. We all wore clothes. It was quite a middle-class venue. We come there and the place is closed. It was called Soma, and that goes back to sleep. I said to this New York girl, I said, look, that hairy place with all the tattoos and people on bicycles, let's ask the hairy place if they will let us in. Now, the hairy place said, we will let you in, poets, on the condition that you leave before the music starts. When does the music start? 9 o'clock. So from 6 to 9, that became the time when Ruta Maya had open mic for poets. And it would shut off as soon as the musicians come on. But we learned from that time, there is a way to stretch the indefinite imagination, and that's a way to include music in your presentation. If you do that, people can ignore the words and they can just trip off on the beautiful harmonies that are made in construction by all the people in polyphonic wonderful. Now, you may say, what happened? What happened to the original Ruta Maya? Well, rents rose high at 4th and Lavaca, and they got evicted, and they went up to 3601 South Congress, just above Expose. You don't know about Expose, do you? Yes, you do. So for years, and I do mean this true, we improvised outside Ruta Maya on the front porch. And the truth of it is, the exotic dancers complained about us as being too noisy.
and the police came and shut us down. Well, we had a rule, and the rule was anyone turns up is on the stage, just like tonight. And sometimes we had 10 flute players, 12 drummers, and these drummers really want to drum the loudest. You know, you ever been to a drum jam and you have the master fascist drummer who wants to set the pace? Beat, beat, beefy, beat boy. And everyone has to bow down to beat, beefy, beat boy. So they did, and we got thrown out there. But there was one night when I saw these 3 people sitting there, and they sat through the whole show. I said, excuse me, at the end, no one's ever sat through our whole 3.5-hour haiku before. Why is it you lasted the distance? And the guy looked at me with Coca-Cola eyes and said, we like this. You can do it at our place, which at that time was Cafe Caffeine. Now we went to Cafe Caffeine, which is way in the heart of South Austin, and that venue doesn't exist anymore because it was taken over because he had a Coca-Cola habit. And of course, however good-hearted people are, that powerful Coca-Cola can wipe you right out. It's all full of sugar and salt and other caramels. You don't want to go there, no way. So, it was a beautiful story at the time, but we were gone from there, and then a feminist took over the place and wanted to run it. And she sat through the poetry, and she judged us. You ever had someone judge you? If anyone ever judges someone else, you'll always be found inadequate. Why? They've got standards. We haven't got standards, we've got open hearts and open arts. And let me tell you, she said to us, I didn't like what you said about freedom, that freedom should be compulsory. I said, yeah, it should be. She said, you haven't have to leave. I said, again? So she threw us out. But then no one came. So the next people who bought the cafe invited us back in. This is all true. We used to have the Million Musicians March landings there. There weren't a million musicians anymore in Austin, and certainly no volunteers. So, this Thai restaurant, Thai Fresh, extended into Cafe Caffeine and closed down Cafe Caffeine, incorporated into Thai Fresh, so we did poetry inside Thai Fresh. You were there at that stage. And it took a little while for them to realize that poetry basically doesn't make any money for anybody. So finally we got the beautiful bye 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 bye, and now we're at the library just down the road at Twin Oaks Library for Share Your Stories. That's right, sleeping through the story of the world that always says, I like your poetry, but you can't do it here. We want to sell beer. And poets don't pay, and they don't drink that much, and you don't make any money, and you don't make much sense. I said, that's the point of it all. You understand? We're non-commercial, and we don't make sense. We're beyond surrealism. We're hyper surrealism. And most people are hyper anyway, so they don't need Coca-Cola. So, I digress. What I'm saying is, Drew and I have known each other for so many venues that have been blown out and blown undercover. Element 615, at one stage of his life, used to go to every poetry open mic. At one time, we're shivering in this alleyway on a Wednesday evening next to a studio. He remembers it. It was cold, it was wet, like the Rudemeyer on Bolden Creek. It doesn't matter if it's cold and wet, we're masochists, goddammit, we're poets. Anywhere, anytime, even on the night of our execution, we'll be saying, I think I've got another poem to share with you. I think I've got another venue for asking it. So all of you have open hearts and open minds and open music. This is special because for some odd reason, here at Kick Butt they seem to like it. And for some odd reason, we keep coming back every Sunday night. And for some odd reason, the Poetry Festival is going to roost here and have their final party here. And that wall will disappear, and everything will expand, and everything will be wonderful. And you don't have to wait for 2015, because that's happening right here tonight. Most of you are up here, weren't you? And most of you are up there, aren't you? That's the place to be. Beyond, the future, waiting for the prosaic to catch up to the poetic. Waiting in the moments beyond the moments. When other people get the dream and they become contagious. You mean I can say things? I can say things that don't make much sense? That's the point of it. That's why we're here tonight. If we made sense, we'd be accountants. It all figures. It all adds up. And that's why Drew and I, through so many blowing out venues, we just go on this conversation. I forget who said it, but some poet once said, if it doesn't have music, it's not poetry. Drew's music
That's poetry. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, real quick, give it number one. Give it up for Thom and Drew, ladies and gentlemen, please, one more time. All right, so for those of you who don't know, ladies and gentlemen, Thom is actually one of the founding members of the Austin International Poetry Festival. What'd you say? I was gonna say that after my other sentences. Ladies and gentlemen, the Austin International Poetry Festival is the world's largest non-juried poetry festival. We have poets selected to come from all across the country and poets who come from all around the world, just for all of us to get together and celebrate this crazy thing that we do with words and stuff, because we like them. Yay, words. I myself am the director of the Austin International Poetry Festival.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. I totes am. I will never use that word in a sentence again. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want more information about the Austin International Poetry Festival, I do have flyers available. For those of you who do know who she is, if you don't, welcome to Earth. But it is my honor to announce that poet, activist, and educator Nikki Giovanni will be our headliner at the Austin International Poetry Festival. For more information, please approach me and I'll give you a flyer. You can have it and I won't ask for it back. I won't want it. So I'm gonna get off the stage and Hot Tamale is gonna bring up another poet. Or musician. Or singer. But nobody who does miming, none of that shit. We don't respect your art. We don't respect your art. It's not real. There's no wall. There's no wall. Whatever. Please. All right, I'm gone.
Like I said, I thought Lost in Thought was long-winded. Woo! Okay, so coming up to the. Oh wait! Did you guys forget about the drink specials?
Yeah, buy stuff.
Buy stuff. As long as we're buying stuff, as long as that cash register is ringing, this venue keeps having spoken and heard. And aren't we like the longest running open mic
I think.
for right now?
We're in our 8th year.
On the planet.
Yeah, I think we're one of the.
In a world where open mics were. Okay.
I think we are one of the longest running open mics in town.
Okay, so like he said, one of the longest running open mics, and that's because while we are here, while we occupy the space, yes, where's Magic Jack? Occupy. We are occupying the space. So go over to Sue, damn cool, and buy drinks. The mimosa, Bloody Mary, and white IPA, all $3. What?
In a world
God.
where open mics were being extinguished left and right, spoken and heard lives on.
And if you ever want to know about an open mic coming up, just ask Thom, world poet. He knows about them before they've even thought about them. I mean, he'll already write it down. Oh yeah, they're gonna be playing over at Dan's Hamburgers. How'd you know? Oh, they'll let me know. There you go. So coming up next, we have Scott Vanya. Because we already have an Andrew. Andrew Stone.
For those of you who've never seen me or us do our work, and I only say this because my son said I should. My son's 13, I got a daughter's 9, and he said you should let people know that none of this has ever happened before. I make it up on the fly from whatever I'm hearing in the room. So hopefully it'll never happen again, you know. I mean, it's one of those things that y'all are in the moment with me, and I'll throw a beer with you, and I'm killing time until the guitar's tuned, so.
This one was brought to you by Quick Tune Guitar Tuners. I got nothing. Sorry.
The world.
So how do you know when your fish is getting overweight? I mean, and how do you approach him? Like, you're getting a little, And then your fish just replies, "Hey, I heard swimming's good exercise."
I can't say this. As of 12 hours ago, I had deleted this venue from my agenda. And then, as of 30 minutes ago, I said, So a voice in my head said, man, do something you've never done before, do something new. And what it came into my mind was to do something courageous. So I asked her if he's here. He's here. So maybe if we're lucky, something magical will happen, and we'll hear things we've never heard before. Are we good? Not good? We good? We good? So now that we're all kicked back after a Christmas day, we're looking around at our apartments or our houses and we're saying, man, what in the hell am I going to do with all this new clutter? I was given for Christmas, I was given things I needed and things I wanted, things I said I have to have, I gotta have this, I gotta have that. And I see all this old stuff that I didn't need, like doubts and misgivings and fears and anxieties. I saw all these things I needed, like friends and loved ones and familiar faces and people who cared, And so the time will go by over the next week and I'll chill out and I'll meditate on it and wonder, what was the point, Why did I have those doubts and misgivings when all around me there's just something that wants to say, man, it's worth it no matter what you think on the down days, on the sad days, on the hard days. It's worth it. Because there's something inside you right there. You can feel it in your rib. You can feel it in your cord. You can feel it when you hug your daughter or you look at a friend or you care for a friend or a stranger or you walk at the barista and you say, man, that barista is me. God damn it, that barista is me. Who else will offer me 4 shots of espresso? It's a miracle. In a city that celebrates it. We live in a city that says, man, go ahead and get in front of me in traffic. I don't care. We're not going any place. I saw my cousin, she said, like 2 days ago, and she said, I'm busy. I got all these problems. I said, man, I feel your pain, but I got a jet. She said, no. Go with God. Go with grace. We're here such a short time. I've got 3 minutes of your attention. What is it I want to tell you? But I adore you. Every one of you. Your eyes to me are like things I walk through, and when the sun comes out, it's bliss because it's your soul, it's your heart, it's your compassion for the process, for the care. Does it really take any courage to just say, people are people and we're all alike? If I knew how to make love to everybody at once, I would do it right now. Because in the center of that place where you're touching somebody and you're feeling them, their heart is yours and your heart is theirs, it's like, it's the string that I've always wanted to hear plucked. And angels sing to it. Could love mean anything more than the light that passes from one eye to another when they see one another smile? It's grace. It's grace. If we're lucky enough to dream anything, and just the fact that we can is fly. I mean, I can't believe I can dream, and I can. And I dream of flowers and daisies and birds, but it all comes back to the fact that these are my feet and these are my hands and this is my face. And I'm not a fish and I'm not a tree and I'm not a butterfly and I'm not a flower, but I'm a person just like everybody else, trying to do what they can to get that thing, that beautiful thing that's inside them out. Peace.
Yeah. Woo!
Vanya and Drew. Yeah, I did that. I adapted. I am a chameleon. No, I'm not.
Adapt and overcome in a world where the microphones are too hot. One woman.
Who was also hot?
Who was also hot.
I know this.
Backed off on the microphone to avoid feedback until the engineer came back and saved the day. Let's hear it for the engineer.
Oh, God.
Buy him drinks. Give him money. No, I was gonna go into Clint Eastwood, but
Please don't.
I don't. Once I start doing Clint Eastwood, I can't stop.
No, either that or which one?
Christopher Walken.
No.
No.
What? Columbo.
Well, I can't mic up my eye.
Yeah, well, you can't really segue from Eastwood to Columbo. That's really not a good thing. All right, coming up next, Mike H. Are you ready to take the stage?
Mike.
Yay.
Oh, God, what? Wait.
Mike H.
They're gonna have to do that when they introduce you.
Yeah, Mike.
Thank you, Scott, for that. That was awesome. Very intimate. I love this. This has been awesome. This night has been great. This is the most unique and awesome open mic I've been to in a long time, and I feel like I should say something intimate. And this is what it is. I started playing drums when I was 24, and I felt until I was 24, I didn't have any goals or any kind of aspirations or anything. But then when I hit that mark, it kind of just changed my life completely. And 2 years into drumming, I picked up the guitar again, and I started listening to all these old school bluesmen like Muddy Waters and Son House and Arl Burnside, and I really like their style because it's very rhythmic. You know, old school blues is very rhythm based, and I really identified with it. So I'm gonna try to play for y'all a little old school tune by Son House called Death Letter Blues.
Yay.
Let's do Thom first. Now gal you love is dead. Packed up my suitcase, took her down the road. When I got there, oh, looking for a cooling ball. Packed up my suitcase and I took off down that road. Yeah, when I got there, oh, she was laying on the cooling board. My good old gal, what did she say? She was good now till Judgment Day. My good old gal, what do you reckon she say? Oh, well, my baby was good till Judgment Day. Thank you.
Yeah, I know that's not it, but I was trying to make it work.
You gotta find the boots and pants beat.
No.
I think I missed that page. Hold on.
Okay, well, while you're looking for that, we're gonna bring up the next poet. Is she still here? I think I just saw her. Kayla? Oh, did I catch her? Okay, no, Kayla. You want me to flip? Okay, I'll bring up the next person. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't want to interrupt somebody's pit stop. Okay, coming up. Okay, well, you didn't play off Mike.
Well, I reached. Yeah, I did.
No, but you didn't do the.
Oh. In the world,
Oh God.
my Mike was called Mike.
Okay, that's good. All right, coming up next we have.
Rated.
Okay, are you done?
I'm milking it.
Okay, yes you are. Okay, Steve Quakenbush, are you still here? Did he? He just split. Okay, so let's okay.
They transported him out here.
Okay, yeah, he. What do you call it?
Oh, by the way, speaking of transporters, remember the original Star Treks when they would go in the transporter room and they would they disappear?
Yeah.
You know what that was?
What?
That little
Glitter and water.
Thank you. It was glitter and water mixed in a little jar with a tight close-up.
Glitter, water.
That was special effects in the 60s.
That was a fizzy.
It worked. And I think they still use that even on the new Star Treks to keep it authentic looking.
It works.
Thank you.
Can you whip that up? Some glitter and water?
And coming up next, our new drink, glitter and vodka.
And then we'll have you all come up one at a time and put your eye right next to
I'm
the
gonna shake it out right here. All right, but coming up next, we have Christine.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Excuse me. So this is an older one.
Oh, shit.
Definitely read it here before. It's The Day It Finds You. So I'll talk about the inspiration for this one. I was at Bruta Maya several years ago, and there were a couple women with some kids. The kids were running around and having a blast, doing what kids do, and we we often find ourselves in these moments, career, kids, all those sort of things, and it just kind of got me thinking. So, every little girl has visions birthed in her mind about motherhood. Some of us run with the comforting images and pick the names of our future sons, decide careers for our struggling daughters, for we know what troubles they will face. Then there are some who exchange the dream and crumple the Polaroids of the future, letting them rot with yesterday's garbage. Instead of children, some birth books, records, intrepid empires of fruitful labor that are gifts to the world. Much like children of women, but without drawing breath. Much like beings from a womb, but without leaving scars. The day you find fruit blooming from your own vine should be one of joy, with as little blood and as little pain as you can manage. At the risk of sounding cold and shrewd, I could say that I too dreamt of having life-giving scars and breathtaking breasts. But not all women can fulfill their chosen roles. Not all women know their limitations when they cement their inherent plans. Sometimes, no matter how much carbon you mix with your plans, they simply will not come to life. But the day you find that thing, that breathtaking structure, that fruitful empire, you are a mother you did create. You did have to carry and develop, potty train and scold. Anything you let into the world is your child, so be careful what you create. One day it will run free. It will embody a piece of you. And though some are immune to procreation, the process of procreation is prolific within us all. Thank you. I'll do one more shorter one.
Shorter shit.
That's right, shorter shit. So there's proof that the world needs gray. It is this shade, this near absence of color, that allows the brightest ones to shine. I find comfort being cloaked in gray until that moment I'm reminded that I once was as vibrant as any red. Fire engines could not compare to me, despite being forgotten by the entire world. I still know I existed, and I was not done living. Now I wonder, are my vibrant days behind me? Am I so forgettable that I could shrink down, so small and fall into the crack of an anthill? Maybe I'm nothing more than an ant, a tiny gray insect. But maybe I'm so thick with gray that the only way I can become alive is to credit myself with every drama imaginable. I've been told that I make a big deal of small things, that my problems are in my head, that they don't matter. Only I could control my emotions. Is it control I should strive for, or release? An absence of emotion, and gray where my blood should be? Either way, no one is looking, and that's probably for the best. Thank you.
All right, give it up for Christine. Woo! Okay, has everybody bought a drink special at least once? Okay, good. The rest of you, shame on you. No, I'm just kidding. What?
So I went out and I got my fish a treadmill, like a little miniature one, and I put it in the tank. And he's swimming around. He looks at me like,
Oh God!
fishing pants. So
Okay.
I gotta train him to stand up like this and use his bottom fins to do that.
That's good.
And when I get him to do it, I'll videotape it.
That's gonna be difficult considering you have two cats.
Well, he should learn how to run then. There's two cats in the house.
Shit! Ah! Okay, so finishing up the night, we have Kayla.
This poem, I might not remember it, but it's for Kaysen and Jovan. While visiting my client and her new baby in their home, baby is sleeping. He is breathing at a normal rate. I tell her, more skin-to-skin contact. That holding a baby close can make it regulate his own vitals, will make it survive longer. Today is November 25th, 2014. Her baby boy is black. She asks me for a manual on being a new mother. I tell her she will write it perfectly, while thinking of all the boys with almond eyes. All the boys that squeal their way into this world unaware then of how easily they are swallowed, that simple vitals can change, that blood pressure rises with rage, that it took buildings being burnt down for a small percentage of a nation to recognize those eyes. Don't be surprised when they grip on to their mother's fingers and do not want to let go. Those hands will be called Hulk hands. Those sweet tooths will be demolished before his adult teeth come in. That soft stature will be the loudest protest to grown men that I know. Some seasons call for young game. I cannot be joyous for my client anymore. Every laugh, I see his elegy. Every giggle, the sound of a mother's mourn that women like me do not understand. Every curious look seems a bit too curious. I wonder if there is a way that I can help her halt a crawl reflex. If there is a way to dismantle a growing curiosity, make him less loud childhood and more soft-spoken, that there will never be any recourse, no guarantee that my people won't make sure his newness to the world doesn't shake the heavens of Ferguson or rattle jaw-clenched prayers in Cleveland. Find him somewhere in Austin, somewhere catching a train in California or eating sweet things in Florida, that when he gets there, how all the walls of heaven will look just like him. How heaven will swell with faces like his. I hope he does not mimic my worry as babies sometimes do. I hope his forehead stays soft as long as it can. So I recommend more breastfeeding. And even though white tears do nothing, I cry, praying to God on November 25th, 2014, that I lose the desire to want children, finally thinking that when the world cries, not another black boy, maybe we are unaware if we are talking about his occurrence of death or birth these days. Thank you.
Okay, do it in a world.
In a world where Kayla was the last voice, an unsuspecting host took the stage and grabbed the microphone.
Fishing pants.
Fishing pants.
So after my fish learned how to use the treadmill, he wanted a better one with like where he could put his finger in the. Do fish have nipples?
Yes.
They do. Okay. So anyway, go on.
Okay, that was Kayla. Oh my God, the train of thought has derailed. I don't know where I was going with this.
I don't know why I was thinking if fish had nipples or not, but just. If they did, could they get it pierced?
Breastfeed.
If they did, could they breastfeeding fish? Could they get it pierced? And have a badass goldfish or an Oscar with like pierced nipples?
Oh God, no. Okay, now you're making me actually act it out.
Then put his tank next to like regular fish, so he can intimidate the other fish. Hey, don't mess with him, man.
Bye, Kayla.
Bye, Kayla.
Get his fin pierced right up here.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm actually sinking into his madness. Okay,
take your fish to the tattoo to the piercer. Like, I want you to pierce his fin.
Hey, other people get their pets tattooed. That's just weird.
What?
Okay.
That's not right.
I've seen that. That's just wrong. Seriously. Element 615, would you like to come over here and?
He's trying to disassociate himself with this event.
Okay, this is your job. Get your butt up here.
I was waiting until it all died.
Well, it's gonna die if Marina keeps talking.
Well, hey, I'm trying to fill the time here.
Thank you. Okay. Wait. I need to bring up Lost in Thought.
Okay, so I gotta do my Clint Eastwood now.
Hold on. Okay.
Yeah. Where's my horse?
Over there a little bit.
What are you guys doing up there?
Lost in Thought.
Or I could do Michael Dorn from Star Trek.
Oh, Jesus.
Captain.
Oh God.
I do not have time for such
It
foolishness.
had to be awkward, didn't it? It had to be. Okay.
Okay, there's two things going on here. So.
Okay. Yes, you doing Worf. Okay. We'd like to thank everybody that showed up.
I wasn't doing Worf. I was
doing an impression of Worf. Oh my God.
Oh, Captain.
Oh, Captain. Anyway, okay, that's time to go.
Make it so.
Okay, I'm trying to close it out. Thank you very much, Ernie B. This is why we're not supposed to bother him, because then he starts talking.
The only time I've been out of my house in the last 3 weeks in my apartment was the last time I was here. Last night, I did a show, and tonight, and I'm going back in my cave.
He's pretty much in his hobbit cave. So we'd like to thank everybody that showed up here tonight, old faces as well as new faces. Please keep showing up despite Ernie B's fish jokes. And we need to thank Sue Damn Cole, who has continued to keep us buzzed, caffeinated, and fed. And we need to thank Element 615, who, despite all the corny jokes, he still shows up every Sunday.
And lost it though.
Oh God, here we go.
am happy.
The first time he did that, I literally pissed my pants.
I like yogurt.
Captain, do we have any yogurt?
I don't know. We have to leave.
Okay. And we need to thank Lost in Thought, who, despite being in Arizona, he still decided to show up. Thank you very much, Hot Tamale. Okay.
Oh, yogurt, you crave? Yes.
No.
No,
Okay.
not dietary.
Okay. Shall we close it
Yes,
down? Okay. You have been witness to the best, the baddest open mic in the ATX, spoken and heard live every Sunday night at Kick Butt Coffee, Music, and Booze. It is not just an open mic, it is a show. And it is not a show without each and every one of you, including Mike. Thank you and good night!